What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS here to bring you that WNBA slate breakdown for our 2-game playoff for today. Of course, it is the same old best of 5. We got a closeout game today, and we got a game that might could put either the New York Liberty or the Connecticut Sun one step closer to making it to the WNBA Finals. All that and more, we're going to break that down. We're going to see if we cannot peg the right build, the right structure for this slate. I really do believe that the last video, the last live that we did, we nailed it pretty good in regards to some of the plays. If you played Laney, like I was talking about, going down to Laney and playing down to one of the guards from the Connecticut Sun, if you got the right one with Hayes, because Heidemann, she was a little sick, then you definitely you had the right combo from that first game right there with that. On the Patreon, when I posted my core, and my core up on the Patreon, and it's still up right now. So if you guys don't believe me, check the link down in the description below so you can sub to the Patreon. You will see it. It's still up there. I had Benijah Laney. I had Natasha Howard. Those are my two main pieces inside of that core. And then and I ran it back with Tierra McCowan from the Dallas Wings game, which of course, pretty good spot. I had said I'm mainly focusing on the starters, which I said that on the stream multiple times. And inside of the note, I said I have a lot of interest, really heavy leaning that today is a great game. And sure enough, it was a great game. If you filled out that line pretty good with the right pieces, and then paid down maybe to 0-0 because she ended up getting some extended run, especially with Heidemann just being out of the line. They kind of went a little big with that, and then Rebecca Allen also getting in foul trouble. You had the nuts. So I definitely really feel like we're kind of nailing the breakdown in regards to how to build. And I feel like I have a pretty good idea for today's slate as well. So with all that being said, if you guys have not done so already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss these breakdowns like this. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing for the NBA, and that's going to be every single night for those. Every single night we're going to have WNBA, but we'll work out when we do the breakdowns for that. And then, of course, NFL and college football. I know I've been lacking in regards to the videos for those, but been still putting out content, talking inside the chat and stuff like that for those things like that. So definitely subscribe, because I post a lot of that stuff on my community tab, especially because I don't always have time to do videos for that, but I will still give you guys cores and things like that on the community tab. So make sure you guys check that stuff out. And if you guys want to support the No Days Off crew, check the link down in the description for the Patreon and join on up. All right, heading over to DraftKings, the site that we've been playing most on. The site that's been pretty good to us for this WNBA season, and we're trying to milk them for this money that they're trying to give us. They're trying to give us $10K to first, and we're going to figure it out before we go to just straight showdown slates. We're going to get this. We have this slate right here. Actually, this is probably our last slate. I'm not going to lie. I know you guys see the thumbnail. You see the picture. It's looking like it might be headed that way again. The ACES, they're just too dominant, and my Dallas Wings, they just cannot figure it out. So I'm just going to go ahead and accept defeat. I don't want to. I think maybe we could pull it out because we are playing at home tonight, but I will not be surprised if we don't pull it out at all. I mean, it is the ACES. They are stacked. They are a powerhouse. They did it right, man. They built through the draft. They signed the correct free agents. It's crazy. But all right, going over to the first game, New York Liberty taking on the Connecticut Sun. Looking at it, we have a 159 total. It is a 4-point spread in favor of the New York Liberty. Of course, they are thinking that the New York Libs will go into the Suns' house and take them down. Now, the games that they played earlier in the season for these teams, when they played, I want to say they were actually pretty close in Connecticut, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. These two games, it was an 81-89 loss and a 90-95 loss. So, yeah, the games have been pretty close. Just like they've been throughout the playoffs, they've been pretty decent, pretty close as well. So, looking at it, we'll start with the New York Liberty side, because to me, it's pretty cut straight and dry, straightforward whenever you're just looking at this. We've done this breakdown, 2-3 times now. It's just how do we build, how do we get different, things like that we got to focus on. Again, I'm not focused on the bench. Thornton, Johannes, Dolson, Willoughby, I'm not focused on any of these players. Unless someone in this main starting lineup gets into foul trouble, none of them are coming in there. We're not seeing any Johannes. We're barely seeing Dolson unless John Quell gets herself into foul trouble or something like that, or Stewie twists an ankle. Definitely not seeing Willoughby. Baby Savely, she's not playing at all. So we're just going to focus on these main starters. This is the crew that we got to focus on and trying to figure out which one of them is going to go off. Now, Sabrina Ionescu, I know that she really technically hasn't had that big game yet going up against them. 18 and 33 fantasy points in those two games. Maybe looking at this is like, okay, it might be time to go to Sabrina. This might be the spot. I'm gonna teeter on cautions. I'll say Sabrina could be a GPP, but I think I would rather pay down again for a New York Liberty guard. And this time instead is going to actually be Courtney Vandersloot going in here. Watching the game and watching how they've been playing, they are not paying Courtney Vandersloot any attention out there on that court. None whatsoever. And the thing that I like about Courtney is that she's doing it in multiple ways in regards to getting to at least 30 fantasy points going up against them. The first game, she did it because she stuffed the stat sheets with 7 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. The second game, it was all scoring because they were leaving her wide open out there, and she was knocking down her threes. She was driving into the lane. She was getting those easy shots. She shot 61% from the field, going 8 of 13 out there on the floor. A big scoring night from Courtney Vanderpool, something that we don't normally see from her. And I really just feel like she can do it again here in this spot, especially just looking at the history and what she actually has done going up against them in their house, playing in Connecticut. Looking at it, going down to Courtney Vanderpool. In those 2 games that they played in Connecticut, 34 minutes, she dropped 17 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 40 fantasy points. That second game, and this also went to overtime, she only played 36 minutes, but she had 13 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, and a steal, 40 and 31 fantasy points. So really, I love the consistency that I'm seeing from her, and she's been pretty consistent across the board going up against them. Unlike Sabrina, who's been a little bit up and down all around, and at 9-4, I'm wanting that big 40-plus fantasy point game for Sabrina, and I'm not seeing it. They're definitely paying attention. They are playing some really good defense on her. Rebecca Allen has done a pretty good job, except for when she got into foul trouble. And then Hayes, they're making it really hard. They're making it sticky. And then, of course, when Rebecca Allen got in foul trouble, they did shift and try to put a Bonner onto Sabrina. So just that length, they are really just disrupting her, not letting her get those 3-point shots off and things like that. So that's why I want to go to Courtney Vanderpool. She's not really seeing that attention. And if she's going to continue to draw that Hayes, that Heidemann type defense, things like that, get the switch, stuff like that. Of course, you already know that AT, she's gonna drop. She's not gonna come out there, cover down those corners, things like that. I do like Courtney Vanderpool at the A5, just a really good price tag, thing like that. Now, the other player that I really will have focus on for the New York Liberties, of course, yes, you can go to Breanna Stewart. We already know 11-3, MVP, yada, 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 so on and so forth. Dropped 47.75 fantasy points in that last game, 39 minutes. She was priced at 11-1. She only went up $200 here, so it's not a bad play. 47.75. I don't hate it, but then again, I don't mind just dropping down here to Jonquel Jones, who has consistently put up back-to-back 30-plus fantasy points in the spot. I understand. 34, 32, that's not going to win me a GPP. In all honesty, it's value. And that's one of those things that we got to figure out on the slate. What is the true value? Value. That is value at 9,700. A player that can get me the exact same floor, technically, of what Breanna Stewart can go out here and do on a night-in, night-out basis. Because she's not dropping 50-plus in this matchup. If you look at what Breanna Stewart has done going up against them, she's had 2 games where she dropped 52. One of them was on her home court. The other game was overtime. Outside of that, she's not going past this 40-plus. She's not. Now, I'm not going to say that she can't go out here and do it, but at that 11-3, I honestly just don't mind dropping down to Jonquel Jones, who's been a very productive player and who has continuously put up a pretty good floor going up against him since she's been getting her minutes. So Jonquel Jones and Courtney Vanderpool would be my 2 I really want to take from the New York Liberty side if I'm playing anything from them. Laney, definitely you can go right back to her. I don't hate that, don't mind that. I know it took a minute for her to actually get there in the last game, but just still, she's been very consistent throughout the playoffs. Don't mind her at all. And this Sabrina, like I said, GPP, she could definitely go out there and boom, she could have a big game. But the way they're defending her and they're making sure that she stays cool, I don't mind going to it because they're trying to have Sloop beat them. They're trying to have Laney beat them, things like that. And I just like the matchup for what Vanderpool has been able to go out there and do. Now, going over to the Connecticut Sun side, again, it's going to be the exact same thing for them. I'm not really too focused on the bench. Outside of that, Ty Harris would be the only one that I would have some interest in. We did see that she logged mega minutes in that last game, 26 minutes, and that was due to the fact that Heidemann was sick. We didn't have any word that Heidemann was sick. I didn't know that she was sick at all before suggesting her talking about her in that last game. From my understanding, she should be good to go for this game right here. Again, Ty Harris sitting at 5-1. Don't mind going to that. But for that price tag, you might as well go to O, who's going to be starting for the Dallas Wings. Hopefully she starts again. They surprised us last slate and they started O. But if I'm going to go to that price, you might as well just go ahead and play O. Or come down here to O&O and play her at the 5,200 price tag. Don't hate or mind that. They seem to have been finding some success with having her out there, being able to guard Jonquel Jones. She's been able to give her some fits just because she's lengthy and long. So I don't mind going down to her at the 5,200 if you want to get a little different. Well, I'm not even gonna say it's different because I guarantee you she will be owned. But if you're looking for your value and you don't want to pay down at your guards, you want to spend up at the guards, definitely don't mind coming down to playing her here on the slate. Now, Carrington, she didn't log any minutes in that last game, which was kind of a little iffy. She was a DNP coach's decision, I'm pretty sure of. But that foot, I said it last time that she's been dealing with a foot injury. She only played 7 minutes, so I just only have to assume that foot is still giving her issues and problems. Since she didn't play, unless coach legit comes out and says that we will be expanding our rotation, something like that, I'm not going to mess with her here on today's slate. I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm not going to chase it. I'm not going to take a chance on a 5K player giving me a 0 when I have a 5-1 player sitting right here that I can go to instead. Now, Rebecca Allen, like I said last game, it was foul trouble. I don't mind going back to her. Definitely a really good GPP option, something like that of the sorts. We know that she can get hot. She can definitely score. She can shoot. She can go out there and do all of it pretty much. She's been playing some very good defense with Sabrina herself. And looking at what she's done at the home, going up against them in their 2 games that they have played, she dropped in 30 minutes 15, in 39 minutes 23 fantasy points. So that's why I said she's a GPP option. I really liked her in the first game just because she come out with that oomph, but I'm not really leaning there at the 7.5. DeWanna Bonner, don't hate her, don't mind her at all. Definitely a spot you can run right back to that. We already know that the team's going to be on her back. It's going to go how DeWanna Bonner and AT can go. Hayes, I know that a lot of people might want to flock right back to that, especially after that big game, 44.75 fantasy points. She was on a mission. She looked good. I'm guessing the knee isn't bothering her too much. I do take that the fact that Heidemann wasn't really out there, the ball was really in her hands, and she was finding some success. I don't mind going back to Hayes, but I will temper my expectations. I'm not going to expect the Lightning to strike twice. I'm going to expect someone else to step up. And this is going to be the first time that I'm going to really actually want to go to AT. In the 2 games that they played at home, going up against them, 40 minutes, she dropped 53 fantasy points. The other game, 45, she dropped 54 fantasy points. If she can get it going, get her scoring to go. That's all. That's what she's needing. She's doing the rebounding. She's doing the assists like she's always done. She's playing really hard defense. She's just not getting her shots. If she can actually put together a good shooting game, she's going to have one of those big Alyssa Thomas 50-plus fantasy point games. That's what's going to take them to the top and actually let them win the game. So I do have a lot of interest in AT today. I think this might be the spot where we jump back onto her and play her in this game today. Now, if you're not trying to go there, you're not trying to spend up right there, I actually do want to go right back to Heidemann here on the slate. 5,800, of course, 14 minutes, only dropped 2 fantasy points. Everyone's going to be like, I'm not touching that, not messing with that. She burnt me last time. She got sick, so on and so forth. But hey, at home, 15 minutes, dropped 15 fantasy points, a fantasy point per minute in that game. In 34 minutes, she dropped 23 fantasy points. At 5'8", I honestly just want you to at least get me 20-plus fantasy points at your price tag. That's all I'm wanting for Heidemann on a slate where the score to win and take down something should be right around like 220, 230. That's what it's been over these last couple games. It's not going to be a crazy buku high score that we need to take down something. As long as my studs, my ATs, my Jonko Jones, whatever you take from the next game from Dallas and the ACES, that's what we're needing. We're just needing those safe floors. And Heidemann, to me, she has a pretty decent floor if she's going to actually be able to go out there and play. She's done very well playing at home, so I do actually like Heidemann at that 5,800 price tag. It's just that's too juicy not to want to go back and go there on the slate. Other than that, not messing with anything else over there for them. Now, talking about some props. Since I'm already, of course, we already know today's Flex Friday. It's after 10 o'clock. By the time this video goes up, it'll be the Flex Friday. As you guys know, I always tell you guys, when you're playing Flex Friday, do not just play the little $20 that they tell you that you can play that you can get your refund on. Play $34, $33, 33 cents, whichever one of those denominations that you want to play, and you are going to make more money from that flex. But if the flex goes 4 out of 6, 4 out of 6, or if it goes, 3 out of 5, you're going to get back your full $20 and the little bit of money left over that you spent in order to play that full $33.33 or $34. You're going to get it all back, all of it back from the winning that you're going to get from going 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 6 and the promo funds that they're going to give back to you. So I definitely feel like it's more of a bang for your buck to go ahead and play more than that little $20 that they're telling you to play. You're going to get it back. It's okay. It's all right. And I mean, shoot, if you bottom out and you completely go 2 out of 6, it's okay. You're still going to get back your $20. Yeah, you only lost 14, but hey, you're getting back your 20, and you had a shot to go ahead and make a full, 25x off of $30+. Make more money than a little 500 that they're trying to give us. We want to rob Prize Picks. We don't want to just give them the little bit that they're trying to give us. We want to rob them. Take them for all they're worth. All right, so looking over here at the WNBA, talking from the first game, definitely a lot of the stuff that I already talked about. I'm going to go right back to a couple of props that I've already been on. Jonko Jones, she's been going over this rebounding prop. She's gone over every game so far going up against them in the series, and she's gone over in all of her games playing against them. Also, on the road. as well. Jonko Jones going up against Connecticut Sun. She had 14 rebounds, 11 rebounds. I'm going right back to it, right back to that well. Like I said, both those games that she played going up against them in their stadium, I'm going to go right back to Jonko Jones. I like the over on that one right there. This one more is definitely for a flex 5, flex 6. Like I said, I'm already on AT. I like what I'm expecting for her to do today. I think she's going to definitely have the scoring output today, that will be there. You could definitely go right back to her assists. As we've seen, she's either pushed or gone over with these assists whenever she's played going up against them. I do not mind going back to that 8 assists, but if you want to get a little crazy, or if they bump this up to 8.5 or something later on in the day, definitely you can go with her points and assists or her fantasy score. I would more probably go with her fantasy score because the block and steal upside that she possibly could have if she's going to dig deep in this game, and then the assists would be last. But definitely go with those assists first if you're going to actually take something from her in this spot. Going over to the other side, looking at Courtney Vandersloot, I don't mind the 7.5 assists, and I actually don't mind the 27 fantasy score just because I'm expecting her to at least get me about 30 fantasy points in this spot. She's gone over that in both of those games, playing up against them at home, and then in those games that she has played going up against them in their arena. Like I said, she has gone over it as well in both of those, so I definitely do not mind playing her fantasy score if you're trying to stack or take something from this right here. And then her assist would be the last one that I would look at right there. If they add those field goals made or something like that, definitely would be worth looking at if they put her back at the 3.5 or 4 for field goals made. But fantasy score, I do like the over on that if I'm going to actually take something. And now something, if you want a flyer, if you feel like this is going to be the Stewie game, Stewie's going to pop off, Stewie's going to go, she's going to go out here and she's going to go crazy. Definitely look at Stewie's points and rebounds. This could be one of those spots where Stewie finally has that crazy game. She didn't do too bad actually scoring in the last game. How many points did she drop? She dropped, she only dropped 11 points, but first game she dropped 19. In those 2 games that they played on their court, where is it? Brianna Stewart, Stewie. There you are. She dropped 24 points, and she dropped 24 points in both of those games, and also had 9 rebounds and 12 rebounds. So she's gone over in both of those games, playing against them in their house. So definitely one that you can possibly look at if you want to take the over on for Brianna Stewart. But personally, myself, I'm not messing with Stewie. I like the Jonko Jones rebounds. I like AT's assists. Those are really going to be primary my 2 that I would love to put into a power 2, and definitely where I'm going to start my flex Friday slip at is going to be with those 2 props right there. All right, going over to the next game, Las Vegas Aces taking on my Dallas Wings once again. We're not beating the dead horse. You guys already know how we feel. It's 1 through 4. We play him. If you land on Stokes, like that 6,400, they're playing her minutes because, of course, they're playing McCowan. I don't mind that. We've seen that Clark really didn't get too much of a burn and run. Bell, the bench is non-existent. We already know that. So it really is just the starters. If you can tell me Keith Stokes to come in here and give me 15 to 20-ish fantasy points, I will take that on any given night. At 6,400, bit much. I can come down to get 0-0 instead of going to Kia Stokes, but I don't mind going there if we have to. Now, this game, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not playing A'ja Wilson. She wasn't optimal in the last game. I don't feel like you have to go right back to her again here at 12-2. They're probably going to want to close it out. Yes, she got there, got you that 50. But again, at that 12-2 price tag, I need more than just 50 in order if I want to take something down from you, A'ja. Right now, you're not giving it to me. I don't mind it. I don't hate her, but I'm not going to play her. The right answer is yes. Play A'ja Wilson. She's a beast. She's a dog. She's going to go out there and she's going to do what she got to do. But I am not going to be playing A'ja today. I'm going to fade. I'm going to pass. Instead, of course, I'm going to be looking towards the guards. The guards, we've been attacking them. Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum. All of them are definitely in play. We called it last time. Chelsea Gray, she went out there. She had the Chelsea Gray game, 43.75 fantasy points. This could be one of those spots where we see MVP Gray come back and try to take over and go ahead and close this game out. I don't mind going right back to that there. But if I have to take one of the guards, it's going to be Kelsey Plum. In the 2 games that they played going up against my Dallas Wings in their house, Kelsey Plum dominated. 35 fantasy points and 42 fantasy points, dropping 21 and 20 points in both of those games. Those 3-pointers, they pop in. The field goals attempts, they pop in all of those. If they put up her, well, I'll cover props after I finish doing the full breakdown. But definitely there'll be some Kelsey Plum props that we will be looking at. But if I have to rank my ACES guards for today, it's going to be Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young. That'll be the order that I'll actually go in. That'll be my preference in regards to it, but I have a lot of interest in Kelsey Plum as my player that I really want to take from the Aces on today's slate. Going over to my Dallas Wings, we got to figure it out. We got to figure it out. We got to. If we want to hang it, at least win one. We made it to the second round. We got to win at least one. Satu, Arike, Natasha Howard, Tierra McCowan, all of them, of course, are in play. Odysseus, if they're going to start her again, of course, we don't need to go to Dangerfield. We already see they're cutting those minutes. She just cannot hang. She can't hang. She's too small. O did pretty decent. Like, she didn't do bad out there. And I don't mind it. If she's going to start again at 5,400, I won't mind going there. I personally will say I'd rather go to Heidemann for 400 more just because I feel like a lot of people are going to go to Sims, and I want to take 10K to first. I don't want to split. I don't want to share it. I want 10K to myself. So I'm going to go with the player who should be lower owned, and that should be Heidemann. In this position and spot, you can definitely play Odysseus. She is much safer, especially if she's going to start again. Now, before I even cover the main pieces for us, I'm going to talk about it. The cheapest punt play on today's slate, and this is getting wild, GPP. If you're playing multiple lines, Maddie the Baddie. I don't mind looking at Maddie here on this slate. And now, I understand she's played 5 minutes and 7 minutes, but she has put up over a fantasy point per minute in the time that she's been out there on the court. She's rebounding. She's doing something on the defensive side. She's scoring. She's doing something when she's out there. She's not going out there getting me a flat out 0. Now, if, say, a Natasha Howard goes out there, gets herself in foul trouble, or SLATE, or they're looking for that spark off the bench, or they run small. Put Howard at the 5, bring Maddie, let her play the 4, something like that. I think this would be the wrong time to try to let Maddie get that crazy experience and let her do that run. But I don't hate the idea of it as a possible punt that can go out there and maybe get me about 10 to 15 fantasy points if they let her run for maybe about 10 plus minutes out there. And the only reason why I say that is because early in the season, I remember this clear as day. It was the Maddie game that I was actually on Maddie when she played going up against the Aces in this spot. She played 20 minutes and gave us 14 fantasy points. And that was actually pretty good to win some pretty decent money on the slate that day. So I want to go right back to that here as a GPP option that you could possibly go to. So just to get different, definitely you play Maddie. It'll let you get all the studs and stuff that you want into your lines. Definitely can play at Asia, stuff like that. That's something that you honestly, if you play Maddie, you can play Asia, you can play AT just straight off the top of the dome. Run that Courtney Vandersloot, and then definitely could run Kelsey Plum. And I don't know how much it's going to leave you with, but I already can see that in my head. That's a pretty decent lineup to actually get you. That's a very safe floor. And if Maddie does come out and can get you about 10 to 15 fantasy points, if they actually run her and actually give her those minutes, that's not a bad line, depending on who you put into that last spot. Maybe a Tiffany Hayes, a Laney, or something like that. I could just see one of those actually fitting in there. Or if one of the other Aces guards can run back in there. Or maybe going with the Tierra McCowan, who is coming out and she's shown that she could play. She's dropped in price continuously. I don't know why. She put up 33 fantasy points here in the spot. In the game that she actually played against the Aces at home, she played 36 minutes and dropped 35 fantasy points. I don't know why you would drop her here. She played 27 minutes. Yeah, 12 points, 10 rebounds. I'll go right back to Big T. I don't see any reason to at 8-9. I love the price. I don't hate that. Don't mind that. Tierra McCowan. That's Tierra McCowan. Kalani Brown. I know you might be looking at her possible 5'7". Again, I'd rather just play Kia Stokes, come down to 0-0 or something like that. I understand that she can go out there and she's been very productive in the minutes that they're giving her. But at that price tag, you're only going to be playing less than 15 minutes. I want more. I'm not looking for that right there at 5'7". No, I want more. Like I said, Tierra McCowan could definitely go there. Natasha Howard, don't hate it, don't mind it. She had a pretty decent game last time out, 41 fantasy points. We're going to need that again. That scoring production, we are going to need that once again here in the spot. So that's an option. Arike, if she can get it going, can shake off the guards, go ahead and have that scoring night like what she did last time. Don't mind going right back to her. Definitely going to be a GPP option. And then SLATE, just let down. This could possibly be the SLATE game, but at 10-2, I'm just not on her here. Playing against the Aces at our home court, SLATE in those 2 games, 34 fantasy points and then 35 fantasy points. So she's really just been mid going up against them. I'm not really going to be looking there today. I just feel like there's just some different options that we can go to. Maybe don't mind going to Tierra McCowan, 38, 21 fantasy points in our 2 home games that we played. She seemed like she kind of got it going, but for me, again, it's just going to be the consistency. Tierra McCowan, it's kind of been like that for me all season. Whenever it came down to selecting the bigs for my Dallas Wings, I would always revert just going right back to Tierra McCowan because of the safety, the floor, and I kind of knew what I was going to get from Tierra. And if the rest of the lineup is built out pretty decently, you're going to be safe. As long as she can get you to that 30-ish fantasy points and all the other pieces they get there, it's pretty decent. Now, some props that we can go to, if they added defensive props and things like that, Natasha Howard, definitely look at her defensive rebounds. That'll be one that I want to go to. This is a closeout game, so you already know once they add field goals attempted for Arike, we are going to be taking the over on those field goals attempted for Arike. In that last game going up against them, she took 22. If they have that thing sitting at 20, 21, anything like that, I am taking the over on that right there. Straight point blank period. Same thing if they actually put up her threes. I will take the over on that. Those would be two really for Rika that I want to take. McCowan, I think her rebounds might have been just a little bit too high for me. It's at 10.5. I'm not really getting liking that. If they put her defensive rebounds up again around 7.5, that'd be a consideration, but don't feel like you kind of got to go there. The other play that I really do like that's been pretty safe and cashing 110%, Jackie Young, 9 rebounds and assists. She's hit that in both of those games back to back, playing against them at home, and she's also hit that in both of the games that she played against us on our home court as well. Pulling up Jackie Young, just so I can show you guys, going up against Dallas Wings at Dallas. Oh, correction, she did not actually hit that in that game, but she hit it inside the second game. My bad, guys. She hit it 1 out of 2, but just the consistency, what she's done. She's rebounding and she's dishing the rock. I love it. Just feel like it's a safe play. I would definitely go right back to that. And then for Plum, you could definitely take her 3 points attempt if they put it at the 6.5 once again, or her points. It's a little risky at the 18.5, but she has cleared that in both of the games that she has played against us in our home court. Or her fantasy points would be a second one that you could possibly look at and take. I know, she's only 3 out of, she's 2 out of 5 in her last 5, but I'm not worried about that. Definitely the 18.5 points, though, that'll be one I'll take. And those 3-point attempts, if they put that back up again, those would be the 2 that I would definitely be looking to for Plum. All right, guys, that's really going to be the breakdown. Hopefully you guys got something from this. Unfortunately, couldn't do a live stream. Got a lot of stuff going on today. Got family in town, birthdays and stuff going on this weekend. So definitely talk to me down in the comment section. I will talk to you guys. Join the Discord, join the Patreon. I'll talk to you guys on those things like that as well. I will be putting my flex slip up later on today once all the props hit the board, so I can actually do that. I'll have that up. I will also have my core and a little blurb in regards to the plan of what it is that I'm going to be doing for today. If I have the time to, I will also be putting out a college football core for today and player pool for that as well. So if you guys are looking for something for college football, definitely tap in and check that out. Prop that you guys can definitely take for today. Let's see, fantasy score. If they get, yep. Jordan sitting at 19.5 fantasy points. I understand. Yes, he's cleared this in pretty much 4 out of the last 5. Well, technically 3 out of the last 4 games that he has played so far this season. But the matchup that he has going up against NC State, the week against the run, they give up a ton. They give up over, I think 120, 130 rushing yards on the ground. And he's going to at least rush for over 100 yards, maybe punching in for 1 or 2 touchdowns here on today's slate. Louis, they are favored in this game as well. He scores more fantasy points in those games that they are favored. So definitely going to be my play that I'm going to be playing today for college football. Will be a play that I'll have for today. Will be Juwan Jordan at over that 19.5 fantasy score. I won't be surprised if this gets bumped to like a 20.5 or 21. It gets bumped up to that. That'll be a little risky. If you were able to actually catch this was a little bit lower. It was like in the 80s. I don't mind it at the 92.5, but that is a little bit more riskier. I will rather just take his fantasy score because he has the upside to hit that fantasy score. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for me. Hopefully, I helped you guys win some cash or something like that. Hopefully, you guys did pretty good on that last slate. I really don't see how we didn't do too hot, especially just with that breakdown. It was pretty good. And I'm really feeling like we got the nuts here on today's slate as well. Just the cards are aligning. Just looking at it, breaking it down, talking to you guys, I just really feel like it's there. So good luck. Hopefully, I see you guys in the green. Catch you guys later. Good luck with all your contests. And hopefully, I'll have some stuff up for NFL football Sunday as well. Peace.